I'll call the meeting to order for the Waterworks and Lighting Commission regular meeting on Wednesday, December 11th, 2013. We'll have introduction, but John Bergen couldn't make it today, so he's got an excused absence.
Jim Brown, General Manager.
John Harper, Chairperson.
Joe Kazicki, Commissioner. Tom Novak, Commissioner.
Mike Phillips, Commissioner.
Jeff Kuhn, Finance Director.
Todd Weiler, Engineering.
Joel Matthews, Office Manager.
Matt Storman, Information Systems Administrator.
Dale Schuleman, Water Superintendent.
Kurt Overmacher, Conservation Manager.
Same people.
Paul Seabrook, Line Superintendent.
Helen Streakstra, ratepayer.
Brian Slinkman, ratepayer.
Mike Zerflu, broker, Zerflu Realty and Rentals and ratepayer.
Scott Kelvig, alderperson.
Roxanne Gronsky.
Okay, this part of the agenda is for public comment, and we had 3 people sign in. First one is Mike.
2 things. One, I wanted to read an email that I received from one of my renters. I think you guys are all aware of my ongoing concern about landlords being stuck with a bill. I think a lot of renters, the majority, well over 50%, play the game, and quite honestly, Water and Light allows that to be played. This is an email I received. It was a mass email from the Lipscombs. This I just received on 12/9/13 at 8:35 p.m. Guys, Christmas is coming. A wonderful gifts will be great surprise to your family and friend. Recently, I find a good website, and at least list the website, they sell all kinds of electrical items in low price, such as iPhone 5S, $467 US dollars, iPad Air 16 gigabyte, $417 US dollars, Samsung Galaxy Note 3, $436 US dollars. The price is competitive and the quality is good. I bought an iPad Air from them and received it in 3 days. I like it very much, so I recommend it to you. Hope you have good mood when shopping from them. These people owe me about $5,000 right now, yet they can buy an iPad, what is it called, an iPad Air. I think that's about a $500 item, give or take. I just looked into one for possibly buying for my wife, and I said, I'm not going to spend that much on Christmas right now. My point is, they take advantage of the system. Let's work together as a group and quit having them take advantage of the system. That's the one item I wanted to talk about. The second item, as the commission, my question, I appreciate having the public comments, but it'd be nice to be able to ask some questions and get some responses. I'd ask that the commission consider that during the 5-minute time, or whatever we're allowed, 3 or 5 minutes, in the future, that we actually can pose a question to one of the commission or to one of the other individuals in the room. We are ratepayers, and I think the problem is the commission and or the members of Water and Light think that I'm an evil person and I'm out to get Water and Light. That's not the case. I think Water and Light does a great job providing water services for our community and sewer. If they do the sewer, I don't know if that's a separate department. And the electricity. I think they do a great job. But I think we can work together to make this is such an unfair practice. And I think if any of you guys sat in my shoes for one day, you'd say it's almost ridiculous. The way that this is allowed to continue to go. I know Helen's here. I don't know if that's why Brian's here or not, but we can work with you guys. I've given a lot of ideas and it can get done. But I'll continue to come. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Helen?
Yes, and thank you for this opportunity. Gentlemen, we're aware that we're having some new housing up on the Bold Street area, and that is a HUD project, I do believe, as well as there is a new proposed one on the corner of 8th and Wittrock that will be in front of our Common Council on next Tuesday night for a 22-unit HUD subsidized. As a ratepayer and concerned, do they pay the same rates as we pay? We're not only subsidizing them with our tax dollars, they're using them, plus we then will have low income that have to be in that unit. Are the rates the same as what we pay? And would there be anything wrong, we've just got done traveling, with you talking to the paper or to any of our media and actually telling them what we have and what we do pay for a kilowatt hour? In traveling, most people don't even know how to read a bill or what we would pay for a kilowatt hour. And maybe we're very reasonable and maybe we're not, but I'm just wondering if that's a possibility, and I thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Brian?
All right. Brian Slinkman, I also sell real estate for First Weber Group. I didn't realize that I couldn't ask questions here. This is my first time at a meeting. One point I wanted to bring up, I sold a property to a couple this summer. There was some past due water charges. They got that on the closing statement and the seller paid them. They got a letter in the mail here just maybe a month ago that said that there was some additional charges due. Apparently, the final bill came. They had the closing. Water and Light came out, did a final reading. The final bill went out to the seller, and it's not a large amount. There was a small amount due from that last final bill. That bill apparently gets pushed on to the new buyer of a property. I mean, I stand with Mike and Helen and, have my concerns about landlords being responsible for bills. I can at least swallow it because at least I own the property. This person's paying a bill for someone that they didn't own the property at the time that these charges were due. So I didn't understand that's how it went. I did make some calls. I came in and personally paid the bill because I didn't feel that it was a buyer's responsibility to pay for a bill that they didn't even own the property for. So I guess I'd question how that's going to be, how that can be and how that would be handled in the future.
Brian will have Joel get with you
Okay.
offline and resolve that.
Okay.
Thank you. Approval, additions, or corrections to the agenda is mailed.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion been made by Tom, seconded by Joe to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval, additions, or corrections to the following meetings. The regular commission meeting held November 13th. Can we do this with one or separate?
They can do it one separate motion.
Separate motion. Okay, so is there a motion for the regular commission meeting?
I'll make
Minutes?
that motion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Then motion by Tom, second by Joe to approve the minutes for November 13th. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The meeting minutes for the Personnel Committee held earlier today.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second
And a
that.
second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We didn't have quorum for the Finance Committee, and we'll have to hold that over. Action items, revised personnel policies.
At the Personnel Committee, we reviewed some changes that were recommended, and we approved those changes to the Personnel Manual.
Okay. Is there a motion then?
I'll make
to
a
approve
motion to
them?
approve those changes.
And a second, and Mike will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The investment portfolio was part of the agenda for the Finance Committee, and since we weren't able to hold that earlier, we will hold this one over. Focus on energy.
I got an email last week that all the programs that they are currently offering in 2013, they're gonna offer in 2014, and they're posting a webinar next week that will go over changes and updates to all the programs.
Okay, good. Great Lakes Utilities.
No meeting in November.
Is there one planned soon?
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay. Safety Committee report. Have there been any updates to the old business, looking at oil storage?
Biggest thing is gas cans are taken care of, stumping them. And the lights, we're still working on that.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Line Superintendent report. questions or comments?
I got a question.
Yes.
You have your bad service connection. You mean the service connection went bad though, is that what you meant?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a trouble call when it was part power where serve vendor was squeezed on, opened up.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? The Water Department report? Would you like to give us an update on the filtration plant?
Things are moving along. They have all the things outside done, they got the whole cut wall for the ventilation system, for part of it. They'll be removing the glass window out here and putting a vent to that, blocking that up.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're constructing the containment wall today, they're actually working on putting the forms up for that. Caustic is up and running, we have the caustic bulk tanks filled and running that way, so things are progressing.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
I got a comment.
Okay.
I read on this progress report, and then on the front page, all the trouble calls, and I think it's impressive what the water department's doing. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Any other comments? Office managers report.
Joe, on the third paragraph of your report, you talk about you had an effective rate of 84%. It says, unfortunately, we have 6,500 electric-only accounts. Does that mean non-payment?
No, those are the accounts that are outside of the confines of the city limits.
They're the accounts that...
They're outside of Wisconsin Rapids, the city of Wisconsin Rapids. We don't serve water outside the city,
All right,
so there's 6,500 accounts that are just electric only.
all right, I see.
Any other questions or comments? Director of Finance report. Getting busy for the year end.
We had our preliminary audit Monday and Tuesday, things went well, and we're getting in gear for year end.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, information system report. Are the trouble sheets working well then with the city hall and also in the office, Matt?
Yeah, everything seems to be working real good.
Okay. And do you have an update for the GIS mapping?
And update
As far as the progress, where they're at?
Yeah, right now, actually, they're working on the small circuit that we have coming out of Peach that serves this building. So they're doing that right now, and then they're gonna work on the new beer, which is,
Okay.
that's gonna be the longest amount of time because we don't have much information for that, so they have to start from scratch.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, conservation manager report. Seeing none, engineering supervisor report. Okay, seeing none, the general manager report.
Jim, you know, in both of these issues that we received, the customer first and Lifelines, they talk about the mines in Marquette, how they use retail wheeling in Michigan because they deregulated, I believe. And that we're gonna have to, the Wisconsin Energy was gonna close their power plant in Marquette, and they said that they can't. And it's gonna cost the rest of the people on the American transmission lines somewhere between $3 and $8 billion to keep that plant going, and it sounds like that also means us.
Well, there's a lot of regulatory happenings that are gonna have to occur before anything's finalized on that yet. And it's the strangest thing. It's a We Energies facility, generating facility, and they were serving the mine. And then the deregulated arm of Wisconsin Public Service ended up getting the retail wheeling contract for it. And then that's why We Energies wanted to close the plant, because it wasn't going to be serving anything. And then the MISO jumped in and said, well, it's a must-run plant for voltage support. So there's going to be a lot of negotiations and discussions amongst the MISO, FERC, and the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin before all this is finalized. So the numbers you're hearing now are just guesstimates and estimates until this works itself out. But that's what happens when you essentially, have deregulation. That's one of the downsides to it, and that's why one of the PGM, their markets for capacity and energy are so much higher than the MISO at this point in time, is because a lot of that's going on.
Oh, wouldn't it make sense that whoever they're buying this power from, take that plant over, that it's sold to them?
That might be one of the things that gets suggested. But they're two different entities at this point in time, so it's gonna have to come down by the regulators before that'll happen. So we'll just have to sit tight and see what happens. But it could have an impact to our transmission charges, you're correct.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments? Any correspondence?
I don't believe there's any correspondence.
Okay.
I think there is.
Okay. Reviewing the accounts payable.
Jeff, all these blackouts, including the cafeteria plans,
Sure.
that's due to privacy that we can't see. All right. Could I ask for a quick, on the cafeteria plans, it looks like everybody's different. Is there different levels that employees can buy into, or?
Well, the cafeteria plan reimbursements, people can put so much into their account pre-tax, and then when they use that money, either for childcare or healthcare costs,
Okay.
they can withdraw that at any point, so it just depends on when they make those withdrawals.
I see.
That's why those amounts are different.
Any questions or comments?
I got a comment here. You've got Gannett newspaper for ad,
What-
open house
excuse
ad,
me.
water ad.
What page are you on, Mike?
I'm sorry, I'm on page 4.
Okay.
And I guess, It's not a question, it's a comment. I just like to bring it to people's attention that we do use the newspaper and for some of our stuff and
Right. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
yeah, on page 5,
Okay.
insulator pin. That's for more than one pin, isn't it? Page 5, rural electric supply, insulator pin.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that, whoa now.
Couple boxes of them, yeah.
Yes, actually, we're in the process of doing a lot of re-insulating and through using poly insulators rather than things. So as long as we're doing it, we figured, let's do the pins, let's do the insulators, let's do everything, get it up to snuff. So,
I was
yeah,
pretty sure, I was
that's-
pretty sure.
Any other questions or comments?
Where's that B&B paving from?
Over by Stevens Point, over area.
Oh, okay, okay.
Were you able to get all the paving in time, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay, we'll move on to any other business.
No, just an FYI, I have next month on our commission meeting day, I have got a meeting I cannot get out of, so you can go ahead with the meeting as planned, and we may end up meeting probably later this month on other issues. But yeah, ATC is meeting with all of its owners to talk about possibly forming a holding company and how that would affect us and
Okay,
investments and all that stuff, so.
need to be there. Okay. There is no other business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
I'll say this.
Second. Motion been made to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.